Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's Mary Jane. So the saga continues with Kevin Hart and the Oscars. Kevin Hart is not actually hosting the Oscars at all. He has stepped down. He's not doing it. He made his apology through tweets as well, even though he said he wasn't going to apologize, but he did apologize because he apologized for his fans, and he didn't want to seem like, he didn't meant what he said the first several times that he said that he was sorry. So he apologized to his fans, and he stepped down from the Oscars, and the Oscars don't know what to do. They're scrambling, they're running. They're trying to get somebody to host the Oscars. They did ask Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy declined. He said, I ain't stepping in my brother's shoes. I ain't doing that. And so it is what it is with that situation. The thing about, Kevin Hart tweets that were homophobic, he did apologize for them tweets several times. And they happened back in 2009. And when are you forgiven? When do they stop going into your past to, find out if you did this, find out you do that, and then throw backlash at you and then get upset with you and then get mad at you at the same time? It's not like the Oscars didn't do their research and they didn't know that Kevin Hart made these tweets in 2009, because he has plenty of interviews where he had apologized for these tweets too as well. So it's like they gave him the job, and then once they gave him the job, they told him, oh, you know what, order to confirm this, you hosting the show, you need to apologize. So to me, I felt like Kevin Hart felt like it was a setup, like these people was coming at him like, damn, why did you even pick me for the Oscars if you already knew that I made these tweets in 2009? It's not something that was private. It's not something that was secret at all too as well. So he's feeling a certain type of way about the situation. So basically he felt like it was like a setup, and plus he don't need it, and plus he don't want to be begging and groveling and begging for a job like it's the end or the be all, because Kevin Hart is a brand. He has a business. And so from this point on, hopefully, Kevin Hart, Mike Epps, and, Cat Williams, Eddie Murphy, all the big comedians can get together and put on younger comedians and younger people that are African American too as well, and get them in the business, because they have huge names and they have huge success, especially Kevin Hart, because he has a brand. He has a production company. He does his own movies, his TV shows, his own comedy tours that he, actually paid for. And actually, this weekend there was a woman that was at his show, and she's a diabetic or whatever, and she needed her phone to count her sugar or whatever, and they was telling her that she can't bring the phone in, because if you've seen any interviews with Kevin Hart, he doesn't allow people to bring cell phones into his comedy shows. DJ Envy had his phone on him, and they actually kicked DJ Envy out of the Kevin Hart comedy show because he had his cell phone. So this woman happened to be, a lesbian and part of the LGBTQ community, and it was a big thing on TMC. It blew up or whatever, and they're making it seem like now Kevin Hart is a hater. I don't think Kevin Hart hates anybody. He doesn't hate the LGBTQ community or anybody like that. He's a comedian. He made jokes, and he realized that the jokes hurt people, and he apologized for it 7 years ago. So we have that situation. And so the guy that that the Grammys and the system is trying to take the fall for the Kevin Hart tweets is this guy right here, Adam B, whatever. So he's the one that actually did the research on Kevin Hart's tweets and actually put it out there. And the next thing supposedly, but we don't believe that. We believe he's a hired person. They hired him or whatever, or he has some type of connection, because the Grammys knew about Kevin Hart's tweets. And then they give him the job, and then they're going to try to say, oh, this is a condition for you to keep the job. Why did you hire me in the first place before you announced that you're going to have me host, the Oscars? Tell me the conditions. Don't wait until it's announced and then put me, at the edge of the creek, at the edge of the bridge, and say, hey, you need to apologize, or you're going to fall off and look bad too as well. So it almost seems like they're trying to blacken Kevin's eye and try to make him look bad and try to tear up his character. I'm just talking about the system. I'm not talking about the LGBT community. I'm just talking about the people that actually put this out there, the Grammy, and that wants, Kevin Hart to apologize to me, already apologized. I don't think they wanted Kevin Hart to host the Grammys as well. And plus, on top of that, it takes away, because a lot of people are saying that a lot of African American films and movies, has been snubbed by the Oscars. So moving on from that, we have somebody that was staying on code, and the person that was staying on code is actually Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is my people's. I love Wildin' Out. That's one of my favorite shows. Nick Cannon is a good guy. He's a good father. He's a good person, and he helps out. And he's just a stand-up guy. Like, he is actually, a stand-up guy. Point blank and period. And he put on a lot of people, and he helps people careers. Even the people on Wild 'N Out talk about how he comes to their shows, how he tries to help them, but promote them too as well, give them their own little segment on MTV too as well, which he talks to the producers at MTV to actually have that happen. So he did his due diligence, and he did some research, and he found out there's some other comedians that said some homophobic tweets, and no one said anything about it. So we have Amy Schumer. Basically, this is what she said. Amy Schumer, enjoy Skyfall fags. Enjoy Skyfall fags. I am about to get knee deep in Helen Hunt. What is that all about? She said the F word, you know what I'm saying? And so no one said anything about that. And it's like, it's okay, but it's not okay for Kevin Hart to be a comedian and say what he says, even though he apologized. And Amy Schumer never apologized. And so then we have, Sarah Silverman. She says this: I don't mean this in a hateful way, but the new Bachelorette is a faggot. Like, come on, why are you going to say that? And she didn't apologize for that, but it's okay for her to say it, but it's not okay for anybody else to say it. And, they're not going on a public apology tour or being held against the fire. And then we have Chelsea Handler. She says this is what a fag bird likes, like when he flexes. Like, come on. And there's a photo of it too, but I don't have the photo. So how come these comedians are not put to the fire like Kevin Hart is put to the fire too as well? It's like it's a double standard as well too. And so this is it. This is what's going on. So who's going to host the Oscars? The Oscars don't know who they're going to have to host. They're thinking about using the SNL, thing by not having a host, just going to commercial and just rolling through the situation. They did ask Eddie Murphy. He said no. They're going to ask Chris Tucker. They're going to ask, Eddie Murphy. Or they're going to ask Martin Lawrence. They already asked Eddie Murphy, but are they going to ask Martin Lawrence? Are they going to ask Chris Rock? Or are they going to go somewhere totally different? Because it seems like them asking Eddie Murphy if he wants to host, the Oscars, because they still want to fill the spot with an African-American face, because it has been... Will Smith and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith a while ago boycotted, the Oscars, and basically was telling people not to go. And that's when I was talking about The Weeknd. They made it seem like The Weeknd was the only one to go to the Oscars and take pictures with people at the Oscars, because it was a boycott at that time of the Oscars. So what do you guys take on the situation? I believe, Nick Cannon is trying to stay on code, and he sees his brother being sacrificed. And he sees his brother being, they're trying to tarnish his brand, because he's actually building people. He's actually putting people on and things like that. A lot of people saying they're going to get, Tiffany Haddish to host the Oscars just to get back at Kevin Hart. You guys tell me what you think about the situation. Peace. I'm out. One love.